there's a little bit to discuss today. I definitely think we've got 8 to 10 minutes in this video. Lots of transfer rumours, mostly disappointing, actually, some of them. We've got the tale of the player that we wanted, who's turned us down. Also the tale of the player that did turn us down, and now we're wanted by him, which is a massive turnaround by him. We've got people up in arms by what Rio Ferdinand has said, which are, if you've missed it, I'll tell you in a second. A bit of a non-story, really, but I mean, certainly it's got a lot of people very, very riled up. There's some Jesse Lingard stuff. There's some Declan Rice stuff, which sort of ties in with the Rio Ferdinand. I'll stop telling you what I'm going to talk about and actually talk about it. On the Rio Ferdinand thing, okay, here's what it is. Rio Ferdinand was asked, what Manchester United shirt would you like to purchase next season? Something like that. What Manchester United shirt would you advise fans to buy for next season? And he said the Declan Rice one. I mean, it was a joke, wasn't it? It was a joke. We hope it was a joke. But I think, I think there's lots of people very offended by what he said, and shame on Rio and all that sort of thing. I wouldn't quite go as far as shame and offence. However, it's slightly disappointing, isn't it? Because I think he showed himself as more of a Manchester United fan than a West Ham fan. More allegiance to Man United than West Ham. I guess why shouldn't he? Won trophies there and he spent more time there and all of that. But you might have thought that he would have a little bit more, as a respect, I guess is the wrong word as well. But he might have had his finger a little bit more on the pulse and not want to inflame a situation. He probably should have been aware that us West Ham fans don't want to lose our best player, favourite player, whatever you want to say, our prize asset. Particularly not to Manchester United. He'll be aware of the Paul Ince saga from many, many years ago. So he didn't have to say it. And he would have known. He's smart. Rio's smart, right? He is an intelligent guy. He would have known when he said it that it was a bit mischievous and it would have annoyed some West Ham fans. I would expect that of Frank Lampard, actually. That's the sort of thing I'd expect from Frank Lampard, not from Rio. There you go. Not the end of the world. But yes, naughty, mischievous Rio. The other thing, I know Gio did a video yesterday just touching it briefly. I do agree that the Yarmolenko scorcher, sizzler, whatever you want to call it, it's not a sausage. I'm not talking about Yarmolenko's sausage, I'm talking about his goal. Was some, I think it was against the Dutch, wasn't it? They lost anyway in the end. Will do him no harm at all in terms of securing a move away. I don't think we're getting any money for him. Or if we do, it'll be $1 million, $2 million, something like that. But I still think at this point in time, it's advantageous for West Ham to get Yarmolenko's wages off the wage bill. That's a good thing. And I think the same with Felipe Anderson. I'm not going to spend a lot of time talking about him. Apparently Lazio are interested. Apparently he wants to go back to Lazio. Again, we will be lucky if anyone wants him. I think, bearing in mind, the guy cost 36 million quid. We should have been getting... You should get a sure thing. 36 million quid. I'm not saying you get the world's best player, but you should be getting a sure thing, not someone that's erratic and sometimes good, sometimes not, ineffective. And he's got to look at himself. He's been ineffective at West Ham and he's been ineffective at Porto. So we're really lucky if anyone wants to take him at all. If we got any fee at all from Lazio, I'd be amazed. But if he does want to go there, then that's great. It's another thing. It gets 100 grand plus off the wage bill for the year. But anyway, here's the thing. Strikers. Let's go with strikers first, because this is a striker that lots of people like. Patson Daka. Quick as a train, right? I mean, fast. Quick as a very, very fast train. A locomotive, let's say. He said he's not interested in joining West Ham. Okay, you don't have to. That's fine. That's absolutely fine. But I think it's going to be disappointing for a lot of people. I know a lot of people rate him very highly. Though if we talk about this, we talk about Losek and then Nesri and this striker and that striker. And he's a lot of people's favourites. That's the guy. I know a lot of you watching this, you say, that's the guy I want. That's my personal choice. That's what a lot of you say to me on here. So that's going to be disappointing to some. And I do think he is a good player. He doesn't want to come. But you know what? That's great. Let's not pursue him. He's made that clear, right? Because I think that's where we went wrong. We got ourselves in a bit of a pickle last season on this, and it was with somebody I'm going to talk about now. It was James Tarkowski. We got away with it in the end because in the end, we got Dawson. He turned out to be much better than any of us thought. Virgil van Dawson, the Dawsonator, great. But it might not have worked out like that, you understand. And I think Tarkowski, I've got no problems with the way he turned us down. He made it very, very clear. I don't want to. He didn't mention West Ham, but he was asked a question of West Ham. As people say, are we here? There's a bid. West Ham have bid for your services. Would you like to join West Ham? He didn't say I don't like West Ham. He wasn't insulting, but he said I'd like to get a Champions League club. I'd like to get back into the England squad. Look, as it turned out, it didn't work out. West Ham did a lot better than Burnley, and he probably would have been better off joining West Ham. But I think we saved ourselves a lot of money by that not happening. What I didn't like was, I think we bid 27 million, and the player had made it clear he didn't want to come, so we went back in with a bid of 28 million or something like that. Burnley made it clear they didn't want to sell for less than 40. It just seemed to string out a bit of a valuable transfer time, if you want. He's allowed not to come. Anyway, it's all different now. Now he wants to join West Ham. Oh, do ya? That's a turnaround, James. Apparently, he only has a year left on his contract, so he wouldn't be expected to pay anything like 40 million. He's a good player. I just don't think we should be going and trying to pay £30 million for the bloke, by the way, because I think there are other defenders out there, but I do think he's good. I do think Moyes wants him, but he would be another one. I think he's 28 and 29 quite soon. He's not fitting into that age bracket. It's not we were promised. And realistically, I don't care. I'd like to see a few more younger players coming in, but when you look at if we are going to sign up Lingard, who we'll discuss in a minute, he's 28, 29 next birthday. I think we've got one of the older first teams. And, I don't think that's really bringing the age down, is it, if you're going to sign? But for big money, really, bearing in mind there's no resale value. You got let's say Tarkowski and Lingard cost a combined 35 million. It's a lot of money for players you're not going to get money back for, isn't it, really? So, anyway, but I don't mind. It is funny now. He's saying, oh, no, excuse me, I'd like to come to West Ham now. Well, there you go. But I don't think we should be petty about it. I don't think we should say, oh, well, you didn't want to come the first time, don't come now. I don't think that represents a bad attitude necessarily. Although I do think that we shouldn't pursue Patson Daka for all the reasons that I just said with Tarkowski. He doesn't want to come, and we don't need that. We've got really good attitude in the squad. We don't want a player here who doesn't want to be here. But that wouldn't be Tarkowski now. If Tarkowski does want to be here, that's fine. You know what? Football's a fickle business anyway, so I guess people can change their minds. We were linked with another player, Joaquin Correa. He used to play for Atletico Madrid, and he plays for now. I should know, really. I think he might play for Lazio. He's really good. He's really good. I'm not sure he fit in with what David Moyes wants to do, but he's a very good player. I'd even heard of him, didn't even have to Google him. Good player, seen him play as well. Obviously, to go along with Declan Rice's the shirt at Manchester United, what Rio Ferdinand did, there's a lot of talk at the moment, an awful lot of talk that Man United want to bid for Declan Rice. This is going to run. It's. I don't want to say it's a regurgitated story. Because I don't want to say we hear some of this, there's nothing in it. It's totally believable that bigger clubs than West Ham want to buy Declan Rice. I totally believe that. That's not. So it doesn't mean everything is a lie and made up. It's just we've gone through it all with Chelsea, and now Manchester United are the team being linked with Declan Rice. I think we just have to get used to it. And the same way, I guess Aston Villa fans they've got used to every transfer window reading stories that Jack Grealish is wanted by this club, that club, and every other club. So that's life in that sense. Do you know what? If he was crap, he wouldn't be linked with anybody else. We wouldn't have to go through this. And it's a measure of the fact that we do have an absolutely wonderful player that we're having to deal with these stories all the time. We were linked with Eddie Nketiah again. I do think that's a rehashed one. If you remember, he's the England under-21 striker. I think he might be the record goal scorer in under-21. He's at Arsenal. He's not getting a look in there. He wants out. He's available. Obviously, that would be bringing the age profile down. But that does definitely have the whiff of an older story that's been rehashed. That's been doing rounds for about a year and a half now. Apparently, we're in for a a striker called Albert Ellis. Don't know anything about him at all, I'm afraid. I haven't never seen him play, but there you go. That's that. Chris Wood linked with, again, apparently we're the front runners to get him. Now, I did the video the other day about Mbolo. He was really good. I really liked him. A lot of you pointed out he's actually quite injury prone, which I didn't know. A lot of you saying he's quite inconsistent. I knew that. That's what the point I was making in the video, that I do think Moyes can deal with inconsistent players and get a tune out of them. The injury prone a bit, I didn't know, and so maybe that's not quite a good idea. But he did look to have all the attributes. So since then, we've seen Schick play. And as my young teenage daughter would say, that was a Schick performance from Schick. He looked really good, very, very good technique. Didn't see enough. Obviously scored a brace against Scotland, header, and then the long range goal, lobbing a goalkeeper from 45 yards, whatever it is. He did look good. He really did look good. I don't know. I should have watched more of him. I only watched the highlights. Actually, no, I watched more than the highlights. Then I watched the first 20 minutes and then the last 10. And I also watched the highlights as well. So I've seen enough of the game. Alex Crowell didn't have a fantastic game. Put it that way. I thought Tottenham, Scotland, it's all the same. I thought Scotland played quite well, actually. So, but I will deal with that. Myself and Gio will deal with that. I think we're going to record the preview tonight. And that will be going up tomorrow on the main channel, England v Scotland. So I do plan to do a watch-along for that. A few of you have asked. I absolutely plan to do a watch-along for that game. So please do join me for that. If you know, we'll sync up the timing and whatnot. I know Major certainly asked. Major said, "Are you doing a watch along? If not, I'll go to the pub." But to be honest with you, Major, I still think you should go to the pub, mate, because the pub is definitely going to be better than watching a watch along with me. Although it's England, Scotland. Anyway, so Schick looked all right, didn't he? I don't think we're going to have a chance of getting him. A lot of other people are saying Weghorst, which is a great name. It's just a great name. Obviously played against Yarmolenko's Ukraine team in the game in the Euros for the Netherlands. Very, very good. And the thing is, Jesse Lingard. Look, some people are reporting he's going to sign for Man United. Some people are reporting he's going to sign for us. I think we just don't know. But you probably are going to know a lot more about that a lot more quickly, because he doesn't have, I guess, I was going to say the inconvenience of being away with the England squad. So he can speak to his agent and he can get this deal done more quickly than players who are being linked with clubs that are actually playing in the Euros. I doubt Lingard would find being called up to the England squad as an inconvenience, of course. But anyway, it does leave him with a lot more free time. That being said, he did watch the England game the other day in a Declan Rice shirt. Is it a sign? Don't know. Doesn't really matter, does it? We'll know soon enough. Lot of links there, though. A lot of links. So I'm quite surprised, actually. And look, the Euros are good, right? Apart from that Spain game, that was a bit. They had a lot of 85. I think they had 85% possession. 85% possession. It's amazing. I mean, that's bad. That's really bad. I remember under David Moyes, when one game, I think we had 23% possession, and it felt really bad. So what you must think as a Sweden fan when your team has 15% possession, that is the ultimate squeaky bum, really. That's a squeaky bum with a lot of mice and squeaky toys on it. Anyway. I don't even know what a terrible analogy. I'll catch up with you tomorrow. There'll probably be loads more transfer rumours. Enjoy the Euros if you're watching them today. Big game tonight. I'll get this video uploaded now, actually. Is it France v Germany? That's a good one. I may even watch the whole game myself, and that should be one to enjoy. Maybe even the winners of the tournament coming from that game.